Our first PowerPoint is Paleo-Indian migration. It is not very long, so let's get started. So Paleo-Indian migration has two various theories for migration. One is a land route and the other is a sea route. The land route is considered to be known as Beringia. It goes from Asia to the Americas via a land corridor, where the other one is considered to be a sea route, which is basically ocean voyages versus island hopping. And we're going to cover both of these. So first we'll start with Beringia. Beringia, also known as the Bering Straits model or the Bering Land Bridge. It is the grassland steppe, including that of the land bridge that stretched for several hundred miles. And it's going to go from the Lena River here in Russia all the way over to the Mackenzie River in that of Canada. And the archaeological record has artifacts from 50,000 years BCE, which means before current events, to 25,000 years BCE. And it is this time period that we have found records all through this area. So, and most of that is on the western side of the Bering Straits. The oldest spot found in Alaska is called Broken Mammoth, and it is 14,400 years BCE, before current events. And so that's the oldest that they had for a while. And these sites were called Clovis. The Clovis culture, which is named after Clovis, New Mexico, they trace this culture through the spear points and its chert deposits. Chert is the leftover rock after you create a spear point. And all their spear points are exactly the same. And it's all to scale. The shortest one that I've seen is about 2 inches long, the longest one about 6 feet. And they date between 11,200 to 10,900 BCE. And they were considered to be the oldest culture for a long time. And you can see on this map, all those yellow dots, there are a lot of them. And they all are similar because of their spear points. But then in 2005, we have a change. And that is a group called Pre-Clovis. As you can see here in these pictures, it was in Monteverde, Chile, so all the way to the southern tip of South America, 14,600 to 12,460 BCE. So the oldest thing that they have dated in Monteverde is 14,600 years BCE. That's 200 years older than Broken Mammoth. So this started in 1975. There was a flood. The bank of this little river here fell away, and they saw the side of a building. They also found the remains of a cow bone. And when they dated that cow bone, it dated to 14,600. So did a couple pieces from the building structure that was built there. And so there was this debate, is there something older than Clovis? Their spear points are not the same. They're not made the same. Their living structures not made the same. So is there a separate group? Archaeology will happen from 1977 to 1985. It is truly one of its kind for quite some time. Historians, archaeologists, unwilling to accept that this is older than Clovis, so there's a lot of pushback. But then in 2007, they're going to find a second site. After that, it doesn't take very long, 2009, it now is officially accepted that pre-Clovis is older than Clovis. The question is, how did they get to the tip of Chile way earlier than all of the others? And that is where our sea route idea comes in. So as you can see here, the land bridge, this orange circle, you can see where that comes in. Now the coastal migration, the island hopping idea, was that they went along this area and they landed in areas that was open, was not covered by the ice. They would forage, get fresh water, do what they needed, and then they would continue on into the Western Hemisphere. So that was the most well-known idea for island hopping. But how would individuals get to Monteverde all the way down there at the tip of Chile sooner than everyone else? And that's where the ocean voyage came in. And it is this idea that had pushback as well. No, they just have tiny canoes. They couldn't have gotten to the New World, this new hemisphere that way. But we know by doing research and by discussing things with Polynesian cultures, they had giant catamaran type boats. The best example I can give you is Moana, the Disney film Moana. Those giant ocean voyaging ships that they had. Those are what they used to get to the southern tip of South America. And so it is now a theory that is out there that this absolutely could have happened. Now there are two sites, two locations where, and two groups that we know were here past Paleo-Indian groups. So pre-Clovis is the oldest, then we have Clovis. Now here are a couple sites that we know are individuals that were here before Europeans. So the first, Santa Rosa Island, 9 sites, 12,000 to 11,000 BCE. So right there in the Channel Islands, this little green set of islands off the coast of California, near Los Angeles. They have found archaeological items there that prove that they go back to this date. Now on the other side of the country, we have Vikings. We have Viking ruins. And we know the Vikings were here somewhere around 1000 AD or CE current events. Eric the Red came over in 985. Leif Erikson in 1000. There is a lot of archaeological record in Baffin Island. So this island just north of Canada. And the Baffin Islands they've found quite a lot of things, including an entire Viking ship, which is now in Oslo, Norway, where it's in a museum at the National University. But the one site that has been kept up is Lawns of Meadows. The Meadows is a Viking site that today is a living history museum, and it was a colony for 10 years for the Vikings. Something happened. They either went home or they didn't quite stay here. But it is a place that was kept up. It's a living history museum today, so you can go see it. And it is considered to be the oldest settlement in North America that is not Paleo-Indian. So the Vikings, those groups in Baffin Island, both of these groups helped add to the Paleo-Indian groups that are here. So now you're going to move on to presentation 1.2.